Yo, 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 everybody. Hey, this is Josh with another solo episode. Brian and I have done some solos each have done some. I've done some. He's done more actually recently. And then I'm going to date this a little bit. His trip to Korea. So he's done a lot of solo stuff, and we've done some stuff together that's going to be posted in the next several weeks. But because this is kind of right around like the first of the year, I just want to do a short, really solo episode about pacing yourself. And so I'm not going to do the like rhythm and roll, I like to call it, or a lot of people call it rigum and roll. I like to call it the rhythm and roll because of the rhythm of CC. We're just kind of planting it and going with it. So I just want to spend like 2 or 3 minutes. It's not going to be very long. I think about pacing yourselves because at the end of the year and the beginning of the next, I think you figure out like how tired you might be and how the year has been. You're very introspective on things that have happened and things that are going to happen. And so you kind of think to yourself, man, how do I have more energy at the end of the year? And I want to be honest with you guys. I fell really victim to this at the end of last year. I had great family time for the first time in like 23 years. I've actually had some time off. And I didn't pace myself correctly. So I was really exhausted at the end of the time. And I didn't take the time sufficiently throughout the year to like recharge and like kind of figure it out a little bit. So like I didn't take the time to like, for me, play my games, read my books, talk to my friends, and then just have like me time. I was always going. And part of that was because, we were rebuilding our house after the hurricane. We were dealing with some of that stuff. We were dealing with some of the other stuff. We were just dealing. And just to deal sometimes is exhausting. And you might not realize exactly how that's building up in your life. But I'm here to say you need to. You need to figure that out. Like if you don't have that time, and I think that time needs to be built in sequentially throughout the year. So like if, around a holiday or even if every week you have like a day or a few hours even just to say these are my times to like reflect, kind of like take a deep breath and then I'm blowing that out. And how do I pace myself going forward? Because, everybody is great. Like when you start off something and you're like, oh, I'm really excited. I'm going to get this done. But about halfway through, you start getting that mid slump and then you get that second win and you keep going. However, when you really think about it, you really need those breaths throughout the year. And so what are you doing to pace yourself? And I'm not, like I said, this is not going to be long. It's going to be like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. But what are you doing to pace yourself throughout the year so that you're not running on empty for too long? And I think that's really important to realize. Like, are you running on empty? And if you are, how do you get that back? Do you need to take time totally away? Or do you just need to take some time during the week? And if it's gone too long, you may need time totally to unplug. A lot of very successful people I know take like a whole bunch of time off every year, like 2 or 3 weeks. And sometimes like a couple of those weeks, they unplug totally from social media. They unplug from their lives. They just unplug. And it gives them that recharge time. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about pacing yourself going forward. And how do you build that into your everyday life? That's it. This is the episode. And I'm not going to talk any more about it because I want you guys to think about it over the next 4 or 5 minutes after you're done with this. Like, how are you doing this? Always open to questions, comments, concerns. If people are wanting to talk about this, I really do want to talk about this subject. So, and that's it. And this is Josh for Curiosity Continuum.